We'll begin the session shortly.
Yeah, we will wait 1 or 2 minutes, then we will start. Okay, Alaga, you can start. Alaga.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can start.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's webinar hosted by IEEE Government College of Engineering, Kannur, in association with IEEE Malabar Hub. Myself, Alaga, student member IEEE SBJCAK, pursuing first year electrical and electronics engineering. IEEE Malabar subsection, in association with IEEE SBJCAK, brings out before you the 93rd webinar of the series by Mr. Shone on the topic placement and internship trends. He has 10 years experience in consulting, insights and analytics domain. He is currently working with Course5 Intelligence. He has recently started an Instagram page exclusively for posting engineering fresher job opportunities. He's also an active IEEE volunteer for more than a decade. Currently, he is the Vice Chair of Student Activities Committee of IEEE Kerala section and in charge of Malabar Hub. It's my privilege to welcome Shone sir to this webinar. Welcome, sir. So we can begin the session now.
Thank you, Alaga. My audio is working.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Hope you are able to see my slide. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, thanks to Savik sir for inviting me to handle one of the Thursday webinar series. It's my privilege to be here in a webinar series where even legends were the speakers. So today I'm trying to get you through some of the trends in placement and internship, which I happen to see in the past 1 year. So basically, the inputs or the insights, what I'm trying to share with you today is based on 3 inputs. So there is likely chance that the inputs might not be very accurate. So the main source I use for synthesizing this insight is based on the Instagram page I started last year, exactly in August. So the entire insights would be based on the data around past 6-7 months, which ideally is not a good source to synthesize the insights, because especially when it comes to placement and internship, we really need to look into data of an entire year cycle. So this is just based on the last 6-7 months. And some of the interviews I conducted with some of the students who got placed and got interned in some commentary and general secondary research. So this is my Instagram page, and do follow for more updates. So this is something I guess you all will be facing, especially the final year students, not just the graduates. Again, the students who try for internship. So I have categorized the session into two main categories. One is internship, and one is full-time placement. So there's a question that when do we go for trying internship, or why should we go for internship? And the answer is simply this, that very often some of the companies, those not coming for the campus interview or not going for the mass recruitment, usually ask for experience, right? And internship is one of the best option to get experience, or getting doing projects and being posting in your LinkedIn or GitHub is also another option. So this is a question that everyone will face definitely if you are not able to crack your mass recruitment drive or campus recruitment drive. So let's start with internship. So many companies do offer internship. So when I say internship, these are internship for a particular period of time, say for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, which they will very much define well in advance, very much define the skills required for this internship. This ranges from those companies which we never heard to those top brands in the industry. And some interesting thing about internship call is like internship are often offered specific to a skill set. So which means they don't call like, okay, we have an internship open for, say, computer science student. We have an internship open for electrical students. Such kind of job openings or internship openings are very rare, or I didn't happen to see those. Most of the internship options very much specific to any particular skill. For example, TCS, being a service company or any other service company, do not usually prefer internship, and whenever they prefer, that will be very specific to some particular domain. So I would like to take you through some of the openings I happen to see. Hello. Okay. So even when you look at the internship profile, TCS has published, this is specific into three division. Or if you look at the internship option given by Amazon, it's specific into knowledge with Unix or Linux operating system. Okay. Another thing is TMLC. So when you go for internship, whether it is your second year or third year, some of these internship job openings are looks like they are more advanced than some of the full-time job openings. For example, when you look into full-time job openings, it could be like 2022 graduate, CS, IT, EC, electrical, right? But the internship is much more advanced. So so the moral of the story here is that you need to be really equipped to get into internship. Okay. And when the time you need to be equipped is probably in the second or third year. So if you really want to do internship, you really need to acquaint with certain skills that companies generally look into, and that need to be done within a second or third year. Otherwise, you might end up reaching those internship options where you need to pay. So here I'm discussing only those options where they either pay you or you do it for free to do certain kind of projects. Something which was interesting, what I found while going through multiple internship options are that most of the internship are around AI or AI subsets. It could be NLP, it could be machine learning, or any kind of analytics. The reason why companies prefer students or interns for doing this is that this is now in the experiment phase, the entire AI. When you look into any business, including my company, like we are in the core analytics, we always do the same thing what we have done before. We spend not much time on experimenting, but whereas we have a dedicated team, an R&D team who will be doing research on optimizing the current process. Very often that R&D team will have a big set of interns because, say for example, a particular work I'm related to is into test analytics. Now, we might already got a request from the client regarding the specific job. So we will be busy with doing that. Now we want some intern to work for say 1 month to 3 months, preparing some sort of data science models to drive it. So that is the reason why in the beginning I tried to bring up to the point that you need to be really skilled to get into internship. So it is not just getting internship is more difficult than getting a job. Now, one of the best practice I would suggest to you is that go through different such internship options available. Whether you are in first year or second year doesn't matter, because in the second year, if you want to get into any of these internship, you need to be acquired with these skills. For example, here in terms of mechatronics, they already want you to know the CAD tools, right? Or in terms of Bosch, they want you to know NLP, deep learning, or text analytics. So here in this case, that is computer vision. So plan across the field you want to get into as an intern. Look into the different internship job descriptions, learn those skills in advance, and then you get into the internship market. Coming to full-time job, I don't want to be a one-sided session here, so I will try to finish it in half hour so that I'm happy to be to answer to your questions. So just categorize this along in line with the different engineering branches. So electronics is one of the favorite branch since when I was doing engineering. So back in 2008, when I went to join engineering, electronics and communication, which we usually called as EC, is one of the branch which get filled first. Okay, followed by CS, then electrical and mechanical. I think the time when I joined in 2008, there was a very huge demand for mechanical as well. So boys do okay. So mix of boys and girls go for electronics and computer science. On the other side, boys who have more rank, they go directly to mechanical engineering and other branches. So this is not a very proven insight. This is something I have seen in the past and something I see even recently that then followed by electrical and instrumentation. So, but when it comes to the job market, so there is a fact that we really need to admit that compared to any CS and IT related job openings, so all other branches do have only very limited job openings. And I would say after IT or CS, then comes electronics, and generally electronics jobs are there are very less job openings for freshers, which I have seen, and mostly within electronics. So we have a lot of a subset of electronics. We have embedded system, we have communication, and generally most of the job openings in electronics are seen around embedded systems. Okay, when I say embedded systems, all the companies, not just the small companies which focus on embedded system do recruit. Nowadays, we have seen that these service companies who are into automotive sector, whether it is Bosch or Tata Elxsi or even TCS, or those people are now recruiting more into embedded engineers, especially due to the acceleration in the interest towards more infotainment in our automobile. So this is one of the reasons why there is a huge demand for embedded system. Coming to communication, so I specifically searched for job openings on communication, and I found that it is very rare to find fresher opening in communication. So I was checking with some of the students who recently placed in some communication companies. So this is what I got to know, that most of the communication companies do go through the internship process, and they which is 3 to 6 months, and some of them really look for masters. So the advantage of masters is that in many institutions, maybe because of the university curriculum or autonomous institutions, designed the master program such a way that the last 6 months is dedicated for internship. Okay, so now companies recruit these students as interns. They
Sir, your audio is not clear.
sorry, I think host muted me in between. I mean, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so companies take them as interns, the master students, and very rarely bachelors are also taken for these communication jobs. And after 6 months, say 80% are given PPO, pre-placement offer. So if you're looking really to get into communication, as per my understanding, the best route is go for masters and get into that. If you're looking into embedded system, there are openings for BTech freshers as well. So you really do not need to go for a master's. Try to get job with your graduation itself. If it is not possible, then look for masters, and that is applicable for other field as well. So it would be better you get skills on embedded if you're really looking for job immediately after your BTech. Sorry. Yeah, coming to electrical, again, as I say, this is like a pyramid. Okay, so I would say an inverted pyramid where the top one with maximum volume is computer science, and then what I have seen is electronics, and then comes electrical. Now, if you compare the number of openings in electrical versus electronics, say electronics have more openings than electrical. Advantage of electrical is that being a fundamental branch, there are openings in government sector, and there are very generic openings. For example, so all the factories or industries where you have seen these missions, electrical missions, they do have an electrical department, and they have people either as graduate engineering trainee or trainee or apprentice. Okay, so that is one option. Like whether there is an industry, there will be an electrical department and there will be a job, which is not the case of electronics. Okay, but those are not kind of professionally published in any job sites, or you don't find such openings in as a Naukri or a Monster kind of job portals. So even in my case, I could also find only very few. And another part of electrical is apart from this maintenance of mission, another important field which I have found, like most of jobs are coming around power electronics. Again, power electronics is also mainly due to the interest towards the automotive sectors and the new modernization in automotive sector. So all these automotive companies are now hiring electrical engineers with power electronics background. This has been continued for some time. So again, if you are looking for a job in electrical domain, in a general jobs, say maintenance, mission maintenance, those kind, you can directly apply after your BTech, you may find. But if you are looking very specific into say electric vehicle or power electronics, those kind, what I have seen is companies do prefer mostly the masters or master students for taking as internship, and then converting them to full time. Now we have seen a lot of buzz around electric vehicle, right? But I don't see really any job openings for freshers in electric vehicle. There could be isolated job openings. And again, as I said in the disclaimer in the very beginning of this presentation, this is based on around some 500 job openings which I scanned in the last 6 months. So it could be that I couldn't see some of the job, but generally I couldn't see much job into the EV sector. I mean, just because of EV sector, there are jobs because of the advancement in automotive, not exactly of EV. Coming to civil and mechanical, I would say this is after electronics or electrical, mechanical is sector. I mean, I specifically look. I used to look for jobs of mechanical because if you go through any website, any job portal, it will be cluttered with all the CS, analytics, IT jobs, and it is difficult to find mechanical. So I put special effort to get some of the jobs. And what I found here is that this is very proportionate to the industrial estate or industries around you. Now, most of the mechanical jobs, there is a reason why I have clubbed these three together: civil, mechanical, industrial. Most of the companies who hire freshers for mechanical do hire freshers for civil and industrial, as well as electrical. So that is a point I missed while I was discussing about electrical. So if you found any job openings where they hire mechanical freshers, just go to that website again, scan the website or check with anyone there. They will definitely recruit for civil, industrial and electrical as well. So another point to note here is that see, while we studying, like especially that we studying in Kerala, I guess most of the audience here are from Kerala. So while any company come for recruitment, we see that these job openings will be like job location. They say either it is in Cochin, Trivandrum, or Bangalore. But when it comes to the industrial jobs, say for mechanical engineers specifically, most of the jobs are not in South India. You may find most of the jobs in say going to the North Indian part. Say Pune is a big hub, again automotive hub, because of which you may find a lot of electrical, mechanical, automation jobs, and some are there in say Rajasthan, Delhi area and Gujarat area. So one suggestion I would like to put forward to those mechanical engineers here is that if you really want to get into the core field, so really you need to go to these places, get some internship or apprentice, be join like an apprentice for some time, and then get into the company. Your job route or journey might not be as smooth as say electronics or IT. Again, going back to square one, the IT jobs are very generic. They call for all branches. Here, what I'm trying to discuss is very specifically when they ask for branches. Another job openings, a set of job openings is here around, which is research, a field I am also coming from. So many consulting firms, say the big four, say EY, Deloitte, KPMG, or many engineering consulting firms like the one by the government of Kerala, KITCO, they do hire these core engineering branches, civil, mechanical, and electrical, into research jobs. So you will not be designing or maintaining any missions kind of, or an engineering thing. You will be much more into the consulting side. So that such job openings are also available. And if you are searching for job, this is the best keyword you can look into, that is GET, graduate engineering trainee, is a keyword what generally been seen in the core branches. Say if you want to look into mechanical, electrical, civil engineering, search for GET plus mechanical, you may find more job opening. I intentionally didn't put any job openings in CS because you can find it many. In fact, in the page, the Instagram page I run, I found like almost 80 to 90% of jobs around ITCS. Now, coming to ITCS, like there was a trend, like say in the 2000 to 2010, most of the jobs were around software development, right? Say 2010 towards 2020, I would say most of the jobs were around app development. And now most of the jobs, like say 2020 onwards, it's not just 2020, there is a convergence in both the period, say 2018 onwards. Most of the ITCS jobs are around analytics space. So Analytics is a very broad thing. You have
Sir, audio?
Sorry, I found that host muted me. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You may continue.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, maybe due to some network issue here. Yeah. So now, when you look into CS and IT jobs, more are around analytics. So in analytics, you have a lot of subdomains. If I say, it's not just the data analytics. There is, say, coming to some people call you as data scientist. Some people call you as data engineer. So since I am from that industry, I understand that data engineering is much more, I would say, a defined job, but data scientist, even though it calls a scientist, you end up doing analytics and data engineering. And I would say the top combination, which is into the skill, which is like you need to know one database. It could be usually used as SQL, or if you know any database, that would be better. One data visualization tool, which is like the mostly used in the industry is Power BI, Tableau, QuickView, any of this visualization tool, and one programming tool. So if you have a combination of these three, you can easily get a job in the analytics space. Now programming, previously for data scientists, they usually they were using mostly R. Now there is a trend towards Python. So programming, it could be like you can you may learn R or Python. Say data visualization, say Power BI or QuickView, and database usually I have seen is SQL. The reason why I am specifically telling about this point is that there are some people who learn R, say Python, or doing the same process using Alteryx or MATLAB. So it doesn't matter whether how many programming tool you know. It matters that you need to have the combination of these three. Okay. And this is again coming back to the cities of geo. Say ITCS jobs are available everywhere. Okay, available in the sense, for example, you may find companies recruiting people or companies paying huge salary even in the minor cities. I would say in the municipality. Say for example, in Kannur, I know some companies who hire freshers with great salary. There are good companies in Calicut, there are in Cochin. So if you think that you want to stay somewhere over South India, or you want to stay somewhere within Kerala, and you are not from CS or IT, still you have you are ready to learn, I would really suggest you to get into analytics. There is a very reason for this. So since I was part of this IEEE for a long time, I know a case of a student. He was from BTech Electrical, so he wanted to be in wanted to continue in the core engineering. So he asked me. He used to call me, not just me. He used to call many IEEE fellows. So he was so he find a job around energy auditing. Unfortunately, this kind of jobs, as I said, are mostly available in North India. He got job in Noida, and his starting salary was around 10,000, I guess, in a month, and work environment was like you go to the industry, go to the manufacturing setup. He survived there for almost 6 months, and he somehow wanted to come back to South India. So the nearest location where he get job was in Coimbatore. Now Kerala, we don't have much industry, so any job related to manufacturing sector or industries are very much limited in Kerala. But some reason he was like, okay, I will try my best with analytics. He learned some Python programming. He got into some company. He was there for some 2 years, I guess, and then now he moved to UK for his higher studies, specifically about analytics. So there was a trend before that the core engineering branches see IT jobs, or now I could say analytics jobs, as a second grade job, because they studied or they spend their 4 years in acquiring knowledge in a specific branch. But if you are very much looking into such core engineering branch, my suggestion is, if you are not getting job for 1 year after you aggressively look for job, try to do masters. So that is one path to get into core engineering. And even after that, if you are not really getting to a job which suits your needs, I would suggest to move to other field. Okay, there is no bad in moving the field. Yeah, that's what about moving to CS. And the starting image, as I showed you, like when companies do really do not want to know which all companies you work, they just want to know the experience you have in doing projects. So your GitHub or Kaggle contributions are very much considered while applying for job. It is as same. It has same value as you worked somewhere. Yeah, that's all from me. So as I said in the starting, I wanted to finish the. Yeah, I wanted to finish the presentation in half hour so that I can spend more time on Q&A. So do you have any specific questions? So I'll be happy to answer those.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. So my question is, what is the scope of doing masters in Germany?
Sorry?
There is a common trend that many of the graduates after a BTech graduation migrate to Germany for masters, right?
Okay.
So what is the scope? What are the major opportunities of doing masters in Germany, especially in the field of mechanical and electrical engineering?
Okay. So see, there is before so there are two aspects there. So one is doing your masters. Second is migrating to some other country. Three aspects. Third is selecting a particular country. Now let me try to answer this with explaining three aspects. One is doing masters. Now I always suggest that you try job after your graduation, because see, you might feel that this is the field you might be interested in, or this is the field there is opportunity. So these are just assumptions, or these are some stories you might be heard from your seniors or your siblings, but that won't be the exact answer. I remember, like when I was in my higher secondary back in 2006. So 2004-06 period was the time when, or I don't remember exact time, like 2002 to 6, I guess, when Dr. Kalam was the president of India, and there was a huge demand or huge interest towards aeronautical engineering. Okay, and that was a time when aeronautical engineering was not that common, accepted in the university. So students really went to, they went for AMIE course or aeronautical maintenance engineering course, paying a lot of donations. But after graduation, they realized that, see, there are no takers for the aeronautical graduates, because the reason why we have a lot of IT jobs here in the market is because there are a lot of IT companies there, right? It is not just a situation in South India. So it is a situation in India that globally all IT companies are here. They recruit, say, 10,000 or about 1 lakh of freshers every year, right? So that is the reason why you have IT jobs. So, and that is not the case of all other branches. So most of the students who completed their aeronautical had to switch to some other field, after their graduation. So now any field, whether it is electrical or mechanical or civil, within that there are some subsets. Like as I said, like in electronics you have embedded, you have communication, but you may understand how good you are in those fields only when you work in that field. Okay, one of the option is doing projects, the real projects. You put on your hands into those projects, and then you will understand how good you are in that topic. Second is get to the market, get to the job. So after graduation, I would really suggest you to try for a job at least for a year, right? And it shouldn't be more than a year, because you cannot keep searching for a job. So first you try to get a job after your graduation. That would be my first suggestion. If you really want to look for job rather a master's. Now, again, as I said, like communication or power electronics, say communication in terms of electronics, or power electronics in terms of electrical, So those are areas where you get jobs after PG. So that is so now what is the now I'm trying to answer your the question in the aspect of masters. Now masters is again a path to get a job, especially specialized field, as I said, like communication or power electronics. So when you go for masters, that is something you really need to look into, whether there is placement at your institution, because if you do not get placed after masters in your institution, it is very difficult to get placed. It is not the case of bachelors. Now you are a specialized person, so there are high chance that company do not take you because you are a specialized. Okay. Now that is how I will try to answer the going for masters. Now second is the thought about migration. Now say when it comes to say mechanical and electrical, like as we know that the job openings are quite limited in India or specifically in South India. So there is a trend that students move to other places for a job or higher studies. Now there is a great trend that mechanical engineers after graduation go to Middle East into maintenance jobs. So I don't see that there are any design or engineering or R&D jobs in Middle East, but most are into maintenance. But end of the day, they pay you well. So there are many mechanical engineers and electrical engineers moving to Middle East for doing job. And then the second category are they migrate to other country to settle there. Right now, migration is a process that requires a lot of guts. Right, requires a lot of financial backup. Now that is something you really need to see whether you really want to pursue that branch. Now, say in case of electrical and mechanical, yes, there is opportunities across the world, and specific to engineering countries like Germany, Korea, Japan. Yeah, there are a lot of openings, but in terms of Japan and Korea, the people are a bit orthodox, so we don't see much students moving to these countries or engineers going there joining as freshers. There are a couple of scholarships available in these countries. We have seen institute transfer or university transfer, but we don't see students directly going to Japan. Considering that, another option is say Germany or US. So there are a lot of core companies in US. I mean, say for example, now if we look into the automotive field, Tesla is growing exponentially. So previously a field which the US companies failed was in automotive. You might be wondering why I am tagging automotive every time, because automotive is a sector where a lot of engineers and a lot of sectors have been involved. For example, in automotive, you have the infotainment, which is a domain of electronics, and they're embedded. As well as the other drives, which is being again from electrical. Now the mechanical has the overall automotive and engine part. So that is one reason why automotive is a sector which drives a lot of job opportunity and other allied industries. So and coming back to the topic now, Germany and US have a lot of openings, and specific to mechanical and electrical, yes, it is correct that there is openings. There is a lot of opportunity in Germany, but again, Germany, as you understand, as you know, that there is a German speaking country. So even though for masters you don't really need to learn German, the masters are being taught in English. But to live there, you really at least you need to know the A1 level of German. So if you want to go to Germany, even if anyone tell that you don't need to learn German, but to live there, you definitely need to learn German. And if you are really looking for that, yes, there is definitely you get chance to learn there. And the advantage of Germany is that there is no tuition fee for masters, because of which even if you end up not getting placed in a company there, if you come back to India, the overall expense will be equal to you doing masters in any of the deemed university here, because you end up paying fees. So I think I answered this through three different perspectives. So one is try to get a job after graduation. If you are very specific to certain field, like say in electrical, say for example, okay, electrical, say power electronics or communication in electronics, Then only you go for masters. Third, you really need to think before you want to migrate, because migration is not that easy. Now again, answering to the final thing, Germany is a good economy in terms of accepting engineering students as well as giving jobs. But yeah, you need to pass on different hurdles to get into there. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the answer you have replied to me. And rest of the participants, if you have any doubts, you may please.
Okay, so
use
is
of the
there any
chat box.
job for mechanical engineer in the field of space? Yeah. So see, the insight what I want to try to share here is based on my research in the past 6-7 months. And I couldn't find a single opening in the space sector, whether it's to electronics or electrical or mechanical. It's not just mechanical. So when you look into sector, I really do not recommend you to look into sectors or verticals. For example, space is a vertical, right? Automotive is a vertical. So really don't look into verticals, look into job functions. For example, if you are good in designing, say you have good knowledge in ANSYS or CAD, now that should be your key word in searching for job, or that should be your the fundamental of searching a job. You should search for a job which requires the skill of, you have an advanced skill of ANSYS or CAD, rather looking for a job in the space sector. And in India, what we have seen is we are so proud of our space program, but unfortunately there are no or limited participation of private players. Now there are, because we have certain schemes that we've been in place for the last 5-6 years. There is a space park dedicated for these aeronautical companies in say in the northern Bangalore near to the airport. There is space park coming up in Kerala, but we don't see much aeronautical or defense companies established here or recruiting freshers. Okay, this is a point you really need to look into. See, there could be vacancies for electronics engineers, there could be vacancies for mechanical engineers, but if you look into Naukri or Monster, you will find that most of the job openings will ask for 3 to 4 years of experience. Now, for a fresher, sector-specific jobs are little difficult to see. So I suggest you not look into sector. And answering to your question, I didn't find any job opening for fresher, for mechanical fresher in space sector.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am Ramnath from Government College of Engineering, Kannur. There are many opportunities for CS.
Sorry?
But which you think is better, going for campus placement or after graduation going for a better company?
Okay. So the question was opportunity for CS, right?
Yeah,
Ramnath?
there are many opportunities, but
Okay.
there are many opportunities, but which is better, going for campus placement or going for a different better company after graduation?
See, I would always prefer you to go for campus placement, because see, it is like see, if you have a job offer in hand, you will have more confidence in searching job. And in case if you get a new job, you still have the option to show them that, you know, I have an offer in hand and the CTC is say 5 lakhs. Now I can join you only if you are offering me 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs, right? So if there is a campus placement opportunity, definitely you need to explore that first. Okay. And such campus placement opportunity usually comes not with those engineering topics. They will have aptitude test, analytics test, logical reasoning. But whatever be the case, the first objective should be getting the campus placement. Jobs through campus placement. Another interesting thing about campus placement versus lateral entry is that, say, campus placement, now the company would get into certain agreement with the placement officer. Now, for example, some of the institutes say that you can recruit only if you offer, say, 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs CTC. Okay, or cost to company or LPA for lakhs per annum. Okay, the same company might not offer this amount if you go for a lateral entry. Okay, the same company will do off campus. For example, and there is another case. Now, a company which recruit an engineer, say for example, a software engineer from IIT, the same company might be recruiting from NIT or even from your college, Government College of Engineering, Kannur. They pay a different package for an IIT, NIT, and GCE. Okay, and the package will be further low when you go for an off-campus. Okay, and second thing is it is not that easy to get an off-campus lateral entry, or it could be like say the TCS Ninja kind of programs where they specifically look into students with certain skill set. For example, they look into say NLP or AI related or any other field. So in those you can still apply again, but still for applying there will be a waiting period, and there are very limited companies who go for such advanced skill-based jobs. So my suggestion here would be definitely try to get a job in your campus placement. That will make your life so easy. And if you are not getting campus placement and looking specific to other jobs, you will be in pressure. So being a student, you are having a privilege of being a student. The day you once graduate, then you will see how much people love you. The parents love you might find your neighbors love you more than your parents, asking like, didn't you get placed, or didn't you're done with your supply? Right? Those kind of questions you will start listening after your graduation without job. So definitely look into campus placement. Do not miss that opportunity. Preparing for a campus placement.
Thank you, sir.
From preparing, yeah, MTech entrance. Yeah, let me read that. Is it possible to prepare both? How can we do it? Yeah, this is a very interesting question. Yes. Now, see, GATE also give you other opportunity. For example, say I think it is from 2010 or 11 onwards, because that was the time I was graduating, that government decided for recruiting to this PSUs, public sector undertakings, say BPCL or ONGC or any other companies. They decided to consider the GATE score. Okay, now if you are looking into the core engineering, so I shouldn't call it core engineering. If you're looking in non-IT jobs and looking into PSU as your destiny, you preparing for GATE exam will definitely get you a job, because these people end up asking your GATE score. Okay, PSUs. That is one aspect. Second aspect is GATE score again give an advantage to get into non-IT core jobs. For example, if you are looking into say power electronics or say embedded or say communication, this GATE score gives you an advantage in highlighting yourself in that particular field. Now, your question is very, very thoughtful. That while you look for campus placement, the kind of questions, the analytics or logical answering questions are different. It is definitely yes that you cannot concentrate on both. So I will add one more category to this. There are students who are confused and still looking who are looking into management. Now they will be preparing for CAT, they will be preparing for GATE, and they will be preparing for campus placement. Somehow CAT and those campus placement, say the analytical reasoning, are quite same, but now CAT and GATE do not match. So you may have to take a call, like what you really want to do, whether you want to specialize in some field or you want to get into a job. So I cannot really comment on that. Maybe you have to do it parallelly. It also there are many opportunities in analytics. Can you suggest some course or internship opportunity to learn analytics? Okay. So as I said, in the analytics domain, okay, in analytics domain, I would say I would just mention about the deadly combination, right? You need to know a programming tool, okay, whether it is a R or Python. You should know a data visualization tool, whether it is a Power BI or Tableau. You should know a database, which is usually an SQL. Now, you really do not need to attend any so-called training centers or paid training programs to learn anything. Okay, there are a lot of free courses available in YouTube, or some of the Coursera courses are free. So make sure that you learn these three category of skills. Okay, now if you learn these three category of skills, and there should be a case where you need to focus, you need to showcase that you know these skills. One is like you can do some kind of contributions in your Kaggle or GitHub, or you can do some projects, so that the other person, the person who recruit, for example, if I am sitting for an interview, I will get to know that, okay, this person has learned Python, this person has learned Power BI. Now this person also have worked on certain projects. In terms of internship, yeah, there are certain internship very much called for analytics. So I have put it in the highlight section of my Instagram page. You can look into that. And in terms of course, I would suggest that you learn these three skill set, so that definitely you will get the job. I may post the link for a reference. Yeah. And some of the analytics course, they are designed. So since they get insights from the industry, they are also designed to make sure they are covering these three aspects. Now, one more aspect is coming to the picture, which is data engineering. Say the Power BI now requires some sort of cloud knowledge also. But at least if you have some knowledge in Power BI, they take, and some knowledge with SQL, they take. But if you can get some knowledge in terms of data engineering side as well, that will be also an advantage in getting job in the analytics space. How much is internship important while appearing for placement? Yeah, good question. So if I am taking an interview and if I find that among 10, one person have done internship, I will blindly go with that person. Because see, the kind of work you do in a business environment, in a corporate environment is different from what you have assumed. So if someone have done an internship, that person will have some sort of idea, right? So we really do not want to spend more time in teaching them the corporate environment. We don't want to spend time in guiding them how to work. So when I say internship, it is not like the so-called training sessions you attend. Okay, now we used to see that a lot of say, okay, you pay 500 rupees, you get internship certificate. So those please don't even show that in your resume. You can tell those as trainings you attended. Don't even tell that as internship. They will evaluate you in a very bad way. Okay, now talking about internship, another advantage of doing internship is that, see, it's about, in interviews, it's about you pivoting the interviewer towards what you know, right? Now, so any interviewer, not just me or anyone who interview, they usually ask you the first question to introduce yourself. Okay, many of us, including me, do not give much attention towards what you say. That is the time when we go through the resume, right? If we and when we go through the resume, we will try to ask you about, okay, we will be get strike with your project or internship. So if you have done internship, all the questions will be around that. Okay, for example, let me take a case of analytics. So you would have written that you have prepared a text analytics model using Python. Okay, my question would be like, why didn't you try R? Okay, if you have really done the internship, your answer would be, one, your manager asked you to do it in Python, that's why you did. Genuine answer, right? Or you would say Python, that you did it in Python. Or you would say there's a particular library available in Python which make this job easy, that you would have done in Python. So so these kind of answer you will be able to answer. This kind of questions you will be able to answer is one thing. Second thing is, you will have a basic understanding on what kind of job you are good at, right? So I would say it is very important to do internship to get placement, and there are very chance that most of the internship, post your internship, they will give you a PPO, pre-placement offer. so that you may get a job there. I could see there are people still in the waiting room. Okay. What platforms can we use for studying software like MATLAB, Simulink, etc.? Okay, so I have no idea about that, because I am a person who always believes that knowledge is there around free in one or other place. So and I didn't explore MATLAB and Simulink option. So I'm not. Maybe there could be some free videos available in YouTube. Maybe someone else can answer. Sabik sir, do you know, like, to study MATLAB and Simulink? Hello, sir. Yeah, sorry, I have not moved about that question.
Shone, I'm here.
Yeah, Bindu ma'am, yes, please.
Yeah. I didn't get what is the question? What platform?
What platform can we use for studying software like MATLAB, Simulink?
What did they mean by platform? MATLAB?
It could be, ma'am. Maybe like, as I said, like, YouTube. For example, Python, R, and a lot of free videos are available in YouTube, or something are free available in Coursera. Likewise, is there any there are free videos available in these platforms, or is it like only paid versions available?
Paid versions are only available for MATLAB and Simulink. I haven't come across any free videos.
Okay.
No videos are there. No videos are there, but tutorial books are there. Lot of tutorial books are there available for MATLAB.
Okay.
For all what you call, there are lot of libraries.
Okay.
Toolbox. So for all those toolbox.
Yeah. Also, most of the recent books are those are coming. That is where we require MATLAB coding.
Okay.
They are coming with MATLAB. For example, signal processing with MATLAB. There are books available like that.
Another point I would like to add here is, I have a friend who did his BTech in electrical engineering, but he did his BTech electrical engineering only because his parents asked to do. But he was very much passionate about coding. So after his graduation, he went to some what those schools called, I forget. So he tried to learn Android using the Google documentation. Like, so my understanding is most of the software, whether it is a proprietary software, those softwares will have some sort of documentation. Now this guy, he learned Android not from any training institute. He learned from Google documentation. So he that was in the period of 2013-14 time, and he worked on many projects. And in 2017 he got finally placed in Google. So if you really want to get into get into the coding thing, you can even depend upon these tutorials or even the documentations provided by the software vendor.
Okay, any more doubts regarding the session? You may please make use of the chat box given below.
Feel free to reach out to me if you have any more questions. You can reach out, connect me in LinkedIn, or you can direct message in the Instagram also. I will be I will answer whatever I know. Like in the case of this MATLAB and Simulink, I may ask someone else, like say Savik sir or Mindim, and I will try to answer those questions. Yeah, thank you, Savik sir, for inviting me to be one among the speaker of the prestigious Thursday webinar series, and thank you all for attending. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time with us. It was an incredible session. As we all know, 50% of the students join engineering by their own interest, and 50% join engineering by external push. Keeping everything aside, we are in this journey for getting a job, getting into a nice position, getting into a great position. So it was very helpful. Your session was very helpful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, participants. Also, there is a link posted in the chat box for getting the participation certificate. You may please fill the form. Thank you so much, sir. Hope we shall meet again.